Hey everybody! Welcome back to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. We did a Forgotten Run last time, we're gonna do a Forgotten Run again. I wasn't... Oh! Fall off my desk, will ya? Baseball hat. 06VQK, please! We want to go in like this. Use our melee on the inside. And then just leave like that. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, we didn't... I mean, we won. It's not a special thing to win as the Forgotten. It's very simple. Probably one of the easiest characters in the game to win as once you learn his basic mechanics at the very least. So I did leave the last episode, and I'll admit, in my heart of hearts, I was kind of like, you know, we could have done better. We could have done better than we did. Which is why... taking the opportunity here to hopefully provide a little bit of a mea culpa. Not a Mila Kunis, that's a different thing. One is a, I believe, Russian-born actress from That 70s Show, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Black Swan. You know, she's been in a lot of things. Ted, but not Ted 2. Those movies do that, it's so weird. You know, they spend the whole movie... these are mild spoilers for the movie Ted, but... you know, he spends the whole movie trying to reconcile, like, his lifelong friendship with an anthropomorphic teddy bear. There goes my bone heart, like a complete idiot. But we'll grab this anyway. And, you know, at the end of the movie, there's some kind of resolution. Like, he recognizes the need to, you know, put his girlfriend and now fiance, I believe, her interests above those of his childhood friend, because that's what, you know, having an adult relationship is all about to some extent, is pledging yourself to one another above... not necessarily all else on planet Earth, but at least more than your, you know, childhood friends. But also balancing, you know, she recognized that he can still hang out with the bear, and that doesn't mean that he doesn't love her any less. And then in the second movie, they're like, oh yeah, she moved away. There are other movies that have done that, but it always is super weird. Oh, you know what? We should have placed the bomb in the middle here. We could have gotten the key out of it as well. Or, how about this? Why don't we just go down here and get the key? And then maybe, okay, if you're going to make me work for it, we can do that as well. Wonder how many times we messed that up in the last episode. Hopefully not too many. One of my least favorite examples. Like, okay, again, spoilers. Spoilers for the 2005 film X-Men: The Last Stand. If you haven't seen it, it came out 13 years ago. I really think that you're not really that big of a fan. So, especially, the spoiler, this is even the greatest possible spoiler, because it's a spoiler that only relates to the first two movies. So if you've seen the first two, but we're waiting on seeing the third, maybe go see it now, and then come back and be like, that sucked, and I'll be like, yeah, I know. But, you know... throughout the first X-Men films, there's kind of this thread of like, you know, oh, Jean Grey, you know, she's dating Cyclops, but also there's some undeniable tension with Wolverine. What's up with that? And then that tension is resolved in the third movie when Cyclops, aka Scott Summers, goes to see Jean Grey and just lets himself be killed. That was a really good way to resolve that. I can only imagine James Marsden was like, I gotta go film 27 dresses. Please write me out of this movie. But it's the same thing. Like, so I have never seen... well, it's one of the many reasons, I guess, that I've never seen... that was a very dumb attempt on my part there. The Dumb and Dumber sequel. I did see one. I saw the one where they were younger. In my defense, I was younger too. I didn't think it was going to be good. This is one of those things where you're just going to have to believe me on this one. My parents love Dumb and Dumber. They rented the Dumb and Dumber prequel. And they were like, maybe it'll be good. As a 15, 14-year-old, I was like, come on, guys. You know it's not going to be good. That's one of those ones... just throwing bone hearts away out of impatience. That's one of those ones where you don't even need to see the reviews. You're just like... any sequel that comes out 11 years after the fact is unlikely to be good unless it's Blade Runner, but we've talked about it many times. Anyway, moving on. I'm a little embarrassed about my just throwing away bone hearts left, right, and center here. But if I'm offering anything in my own defense, we're still probably going to win handily. You know, you got a very big margin of error as the Forgotten before things really start to stress you out. And it's not like the run is balling out of control yet, which is all the more reason to preserve as many hearts as possible, but simultaneously doesn't seem like, you know, that big of a concern, if I'm being straight up with y'all. Oh. Oh, okay. So we have not had Dead Dove, as best as I can remember. So what we're gonna do is grab Dead Dove. We should have the opportunity. No blue fires. Very annoying, but we should have the opportunity to get a key piece here. We shouldn't get two, I think. But we should get at least one key piece here. It'll give us a better chance of angel deals in the future. And maybe, just maybe, we can swing a Mega Satan run out of this, all things considered. Which is why, you know, I'd really love to be using my Bone Hearts to kill this angel. But simultaneously, I don't want to leave myself in a position where I could lose that Eternal Heart, you know? It's mostly just tedious to fight these guys, but, you know, eventually we're gonna get him killed. There's our angel statue. Now, I'm pretty confident we don't get another angel statue, but that being, or we don't get another key piece, I should say, but that being said, I'm gonna let it ride regardless. Figure, you know, better safe than sorry, right? It's one of those things in Isaac, I'm like 80% sure that it doesn't work like this, but okay. It's alright, as much as I hate to say it, we can afford to sack a few Spirit Hearts here without feeling the heat too badly. And again, it's gonna take a while. But it is what it is. 2-minute room. That's what it was very dumb. That's what happens when you're at default damage this late in the game. And your bombs, you know, could be better. Yep. Please shoot some beams. I'm asking you, if possible, to shoot some beams that could kill your angel statues. Very, okay, sure. You know what? I'm gonna put another bomb up there. Wow! We are just getting bodied. We're back. It's okay. This is worth it, despite the fact that it probably didn't need to happen at all. We can get those Spirit Hearts back. We did get a second key piece, so alright. I'm glad I second-guessed myself. And we'll move along here. Now, we're gonna sack like another Spirit Heart right away. Just to get out safely. But we're really, really hoping to pick up this Eternal Heart if possible. And also, obviously, like, high on the list of upgrades is any damage upgrade. And no, Lump of Coal doesn't count, okay? When you gotta 3-tap these champions, you know, life goes on, but still. Can I have a real question? Oh, no, that's Monster Manuel, okay. I was like, where did we get that attack fly from? But it was from Monster Manuel, which I did not even notice, so that should tell you roughly how useful I consider this item. But anyway, we're moving on here. There's bad ideas for movies, okay? Dude, I had my Bone Heart. I had a bad sleep last night. Well, not a bad sleep, because it's weird. I had one of those sleeps, and it's not... I'll give you the backstory, okay? How does this work? Oh, that's kind of interesting. Not necessarily that helpful, but kind of interesting. Today is Saturday, so yes, I am recording on my day off. I'm glad to be doing it, honestly, because you know what? I rationalized it in a good way. I said, you know, I'll work this Saturday, and then that buys me another day off that I'd rather take when my wife is here anyway. She gets back on Wednesday. We haven't had the gift yet, so let's definitely take the gift and maybe try to use it on a deal with the angel to get new stuff. If we get a deal with the angel. Whoop. Don't be an idiot. Much better move. But on Friday, don't lose your bone heart, you fool. On Friday, I slept like garbage. My cats were going absolutely crazy. Just woke me up at like 8 in the morning when I went to bed at 2. I recognize that's not that bad as far as a night of sleep goes. But for me, to be up and at 'em that early is a little, after going to bed that late, is a little, I mean, the thing is life goes on, but it's a little early for me. It's not like all day I was like, I sleep well. It wasn't like that, you know, I can live with it, but simultaneously it was longer day than usual. I had class 6 to 9 p.m., came home, recorded a little bit, ate dinner, you know, it was pretty late by the time I went to bed. I slept, and when I woke up, I was like, man, my alarms haven't gone off yet. It must be like 9:30 in the morning. Look at the clock, 11:45. I got like 10 hours of sleep accidentally. That kind of like psychosis sleep where, you know, I turned off my alarms mid-slumber somehow. Or more likely what probably happened is I just like, they went off and I went, bloop, no thank you. So I will say, like, I guess I started this by saying I slept terribly. But no, I have a latent amount of guilt for the fact that I overslept today. But I feel wonderful. Maybe that's the... Oh no, dude. Maybe that's the difference in our Isaac play. Although, we're kind of playing like garbage. I don't actually really think we're playing like garbage. I think the runs have been a little bit overly dangerous. Like, sure, so, I mean, we did throw a lot away on the angel statue fight as well, so I give myself a little bit of credit for that, but yeah, if we really want to make this run work, we gotta tighten it up quite a lot, actually. Gotta use our unit appropriately here. I don't like saying the expression, use your unit. Too easily double entendred. You know, I talk a little bit about, like, my favorite, least favorite kind of jokes. There is, and I definitely traded this sort of joke in for laughs at many moments throughout my career. But the more time goes on, the more I get annoyed by the easiest double entendres of all time. You know? Like if somebody goes, oh, well, my work was really hard, and they go, yeah, I know what that's all about. I'm like, well, you know, the cake is super moist. I know you don't like saying moist, but you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of joke that, you know, the jokes that are like my phallus. You can get around Google DeepMind like that. I'm starting to get like, I'm becoming like a self-caricature to some extent, where I'm like, well, that joke's not funny. A joke that was funny would reference the self-titled album the B-52s released in 1972. There's no artistry to it, but you know, I mentioned it a while ago. Oh, I knew it. We're one hit away from death across 2 different health bars right now. I mentioned it, but there was this Onion article that was like, and the Onion, if you're not familiar, by the way, is a satirical publication. So this is satire, or is it? But it was like the Onion's Guide to Twitch, and it was like, how do I make money on Twitch? And it said, shout movie quotes into your microphone until somebody steals their mom's credit card and gives you a donation. And I was like, oh man, that's too close to home. Incredibly sick burn. Okay, so we definitely want Holy Mantle, just for survivability, and then Holy Grail also gave us Seraphim. And all of a sudden, like, out of nowhere, we're just completely back in this run. Lovely. Holy Mantle is amazingly good, especially when our HP was getting spotty to begin with. So now we can take a hit per room without even worrying about it. And we do get Bob's Rotten Head, which is nearly worthless, but not completely worthless. Anyway, we don't need to go down that road. It's just it's a too inside baseball-y bit. I don't like the inside baseball talk. Take the Halo. Get the heck out of town. Dude, this run has actually come together in an extreme way. Here's how much of a nerd I am, at least to some extent, about the kind of content that I produce, okay? The only thing I'm worried about not taking... Doesn't this make deals with the angel better? Or guaranteed deals with the angel? Because we have 100% right now. That's wild. The only thing I'm worried about not taking my traditional day off this week is that I'm going to be anecdote starved. I'm worried that I'm gonna get to like Wednesday and I'm gonna be like, what do I talk about? I gotta go to the grocery store specifically to get this done. I mean, when you park at the airport, is it arrivals or departures? I don't know. I'm arriving at the airport. I'm trying to make up a bad bit, but it's hard because I'm so naturally funny that it's just like, you know, coming up with a bad joke is very difficult for me. Don't really want to open that. Are we on XL? We are on XL. Did we do boss rush? We did not. Okay. I will say Holy Mantle is not amazing on boss rush. So I think we've potentially got everything except Hush and except boss rush on lock. If we raise our damage potential, I think we could easily see ourselves, you know, doing one or both of those. We can't do Void and Mega Satan with guarantees, at least. But we definitely... And in this situation, I would prioritize Mega Satan, just because I think it's a little harder to get to. But the Forgotten, because of his HP cap, I suppose, is a little bit more annoying of a Delirium fight than maybe your average character. But he makes up for it in every, you know, earlier area of the game, without a doubt. My thing right now is that I want to be making sure that we're killing weak enemies in one melee hit. We're not there yet, obviously. It was a very bad throw. And technology, albeit interesting, not really helping all that much. So our shop, borderline worthless. We would like to do boss rush, but again, I just don't see the use case. Or I don't see the way that we can make it happen right now reliably. If we could get an item that particularly benefited our ranged character, like Ipecac, for example, I think we'd have a certain something going on there. I'm mostly just happy right now, though, that this run got saved. Like a floor ago, we were looking at it and going, I don't even know if this one's going to live through this floor. And now it's like, I mean, it's very difficult for us to take damage at all. On single rooms. Anything can happen on a, you know, larger scale here, but... Or the longer a fight goes on, the worse our life is going to be. But... The one advantage we have as the soul right now is the piercing shots via technology. Oh, we did manage to find a way to get hit there. TNT, it's dynamite. I don't know if you're aware of that. The other thing about TNT is that, you know, if you're not careful, it'll win the fight. It's also a power load, and you're like, that's what she said. No! I just told you. It's the same style of joke. You know what? This is kind of neat. I just noticed it right here. Maybe our throne bone, you know who had a throne bone? Oh, King Robert Baratheon. Like, this might be worth more than the melee right now. That might change things entirely for us. Let's see. We got an item room, presumably. Oh, that was dicey. That was not dicey. We got hit. Just keep yourself away. It's like, it's the tractor beam was causing me problems there. We made it. That was a very messy fight. Oh, okay. More of the same. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't like fighting these guys. What's the matter? Couldn't have been in the game for 3 years so I could get a muscle memory pattern for handling you much more easily? Dude, I actually thought we were one room away from a dead end. Clearly, I am looking like the fool right now. Well, Bob's Rotten Head is just like, I'm struggling to include it, you know? It's like that one person in a group project who is like, well, I'd love to show up, but unfortunately I've got karate practice every Wednesday. Me and my boys hang out on Thursday. Here's an anecdote I don't know if I've ever told you. I had a group project for an elective class, and it was like an intro to marketing. Why was this in electives? I don't know. Again, I've told the story a few times, but the recession hit in 2008, and my university went, whoa, you know, we can't afford to offer all these classes. So the number of electives I had available to me as an upperclassman dwindled to a degree that was kind of comical. But either way, I was in this class, and there were like some younger, like particularly second-year students in it. I was in third year, maybe fourth year, I can't remember. So we were like making times to meet on all these group projects, and this one dude was always like, I can't make it. And I'll admit, he was like a stereotypical kind of like dude bro jock. Can't necessarily say he was like a bad dude, but you know, he was like, yeah, I can't show up this weekend. I'm gonna like, I got this boxing match I'm going to in Toronto. I'm like, boxing match? And he came back, and his nose was broken, and I was like, oh, he's boxing. But like, I don't know. He's welcome to, don't get me wrong, but it didn't seem like he was very good based on the fact that he was he had his nose broken. Didn't ask him whether or not he won. Anyway, this has been a mean-spirited start. Let's go, let's grab the negative first. Certainly the wafer is also good. Ah, try Sajjan. Of course, my favorite. No, we obviously do not want soy milk. I think we should give it a try. Like, I don't see a good reason this run can't do this. But either way, try to keep your holy mantle as long as possible. Anyway, the point is, one day, he invited us all to a party that he was having at his house. Now, everybody lived in like the same 10-block radius at my school. So we knew where he lived. He invited us. Nobody owns their own houses. All of these houses are rented, 100%. We went over to his house. It was a beach-themed party. He had covered the entire place in sand. It was like a 2-floor house. Up the staircase, sand. Top level, sand. When we got there, we were like, what the heck is this dude doing? Like, first off, I guess it's kind of cool in that college way where you go to a party and you're like, it wasn't like a normal party. There was sand everywhere. But it was like annoying to be there because I was getting sand all over myself. And it's not the, I know, it's rough and coarse and it gets, I get it, Star Wars. But, and if you're not concerned about the dude's landlord, I'm just telling you, you're kind of a jerk in this situation. Everybody was going like, dude, does your landlord know? And he was like, I'll just deal with it later. And then you're getting close to having like the end project for our group. And he was like, yo, I really can't show up. My landlord's being a total dick about this sand thing. Like, I have to go. He had a lawyer and he was going to like small claims court or something. Because I'm imagining like, you know, you're a landlord, you rent out to some college students. You expect them to, you know, not be super clean. You know what you're getting into, right? Like, you don't expect them to have the greatest cleanliness. But you also probably don't expect them to fill your apartment with sand, which I have to imagine, like, is just destructive. Oh, I love that. You know, like, I've never owned a home, but I have to imagine that once it's filled with sand, you're going to be finding sand for, like, the rest of the time that you're in possession of that place. It'll be, like, 5 years later, and you'll be like, what's on my foot? And you're going to be, oh, it's some sand that was stuck in the walls or something like that. Just a really, like, jerk move for the guy to do. It was a very weird group, because, like, 2 of my other group members were, like, they were undeclared, which is something that you literally cannot do at my university. I don't know, not out of prestige or anything like that, but just like, it's just not something that they allow you to do. Like, to stay in the school for your second year, you have to declare in something. So we're like, oh, what are you in? And they're like, we're not really decided yet. We're just kind of like taking classes. And we're like, well, you can't do that. And they're like, yeah, we know. And then they did not. We sent out emails when we were doing the final project, like weeks in advance, and we're like, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. They never responded. So me and another student did the entire project, which I want to point out was very easy. It was like incredibly simple. And, you know, it might have been like an extra hour or two of work because of the fact that our group members didn't respond. But when we handed the work in, we talked to the professor and we were like, hey, make sure the professor knows that we did this and nobody else in the group helped us. And then, you know, we did that. And then they failed the class. But they emailed us, like, the day that it was due. And they're like, hey, sorry we couldn't be around to work on the project. But, like, you know, we did a lot of work in the early phases, so we really hope that you'll still give us credit. Like, yeah, that's a really smart idea, is, like, don't spend 45 minutes to make sure you pass the class. Instead, just try to, like, guilt trip the people who did your homework for you into, you know, being nice about it. Of course I narked on. Why wouldn't I? They tried to skirt the system. I'm not trying to, like, defend the teacher. Our teacher was kind of a jerk, but, like, if you leave someone holding the bag, I hope you get narked on. You know, it's a little academic dishonesty. Now, if they had actually done a lot of work at some point, and they were like, you know what? Oh, my God. If they had actually done a lot of work at some point, but, like, that weekend they couldn't do it, if they had talked to us in advance, you know, nobody here is a monster. We would have just been like, yeah, dude, no worries. You did a lot of work in the early phases of the project. You can't be here this weekend. Thanks for letting us know. We'll pick up the slack for you, and it's not a huge deal. Because the other thing is, like, you know, there's always a conflict on group projects. You're like, I want to not do all of the work, but if you care about the quality to which it's done, sometimes you sort of want to do all the work to make sure it's done right. You know, that's why, like, a group project, if you have at least one other person you can trust on it, it's a dream come true. And that's all you need, I guess. But anyway, I'm rambling at this point, but I'm rambling because this is the longest boss rush of all time. I'm here to tell you, you know, if you're complaining about group projects, I feel you. I really do. I still have to do them. It doesn't get much less awkward, you know, to be in a class full of 30-year-olds and, you know, the teacher goes, okay, everybody partner up. You still do the same thing where, like, if you don't know anybody, you're looking around and you're like, well, do you want to be my partner? You know, it's still weird. I'm like, can I just do it alone? I don't actually ask that because, like, you know, it's a good opportunity to get to know your classmates as well. You never know who you might run into. Maybe even like a semi-famous YouTuber from Vancouver. But it is definitely fair to say, you know, you're going to have group projects in real life. You know, this is the #1 complaint that almost anybody has about their job is coworkers. You complain about your coworkers are complaining about you. It's the thing when you got different styles of worker and individual. Different personalities clashing, you know. It's bound to happen. I'm actually not that annoyed about this run right now. Like, our damage stat is horrible. We've only, as far as upgrades go... Oh my god, we got him trapped. We've only had the Halo, so we don't have... I'm not really hating on it here. You know... The fact that we're doing as well as we are and able to do boss rush despite only having 1 DPS upgrade is perfect. But Mega Satan's gonna be touchy. Hey, okay. We also got speed up plus piercing shots, which is not relevant, but take it down to the next floor. Holy Mantle, the Wafer, etc., gives us a good chance to be okay, I think, as time goes on here. But we're probably not gonna do the Hush fight on this one. But yeah, man, group projects, that's life. Life is a group project. You're always going to have to deal with people. As long as you're not working, like, exclusively by yourself from home, you're always going to have group projects. Planning the NLSS is a group project, man. It's the most frustrating part of school, but also, like, you know, I guess the quicker you accept that the teacher's not lying to you when it comes to group projects. Just throw the bone heart away. Yeah, why even... I know you literally just paid for it, but why wouldn't you? You know, I think we can actually make this work. Beyond the chance to possibly become Guppy, which is very low considering we're going to see Angel deals, I actually think that it might be better to have 9 lives. As long as we're only trying to beat Mega Satan. A group project is like, is just people getting together to get something done. I think I told this story, but, you know, I like to point out positive stories whenever I see them. Even though a lot of my stories are negatively judging people out in the real world. I had a group project in my 12th grade with a student who was considered like a very bad student. Now, all I'm gonna say about this guy is that, and you know, it's been a long time. This was in high school, but we were reading A Streetcar Named Desire, and we were talking about like interpretations, and he called one of the characters damaged goods because she had lost her virginity. And everyone in the class, but particularly the women, were like, excuse me? And he's like, well, that's just what I believe. And we were like, ah, okay, this is awkward. But anyway, that same year, he got assigned to work on a philosophy project with me. And then when we finished the project, he was really good. He was doing his work despite probably being like a C student. And he had a reputation for being like a really bad student, but we worked really well together. At the end of the project, the teacher like isolated me and was like, hey, so like you can tell me your project was really good. Did you do all the work? And I was like, nah, man. He did the work too. It was a good situation. I don't think the teacher was also a very good teacher. The teacher was not in the wrong, I want to point out, because like that is a very plausible situation. But, and there's a, you know, you might say that's not fair, like you're judging the student before. No, I mean, he had been in the school for like 4 years, you know. Sometimes a reputation is deserved, I guess. What I'm trying to say is that he was damaged goods. No, what I'm trying to say is that, you know, it's a good story. You know, people are always complaining about kids, babies, infants, toddlers, etc., not just on airplanes, but like, you know, when I was at that Canucks game, I was talking about the Australian family, or I think they were Australian, that were behind me. One of their kids, at one point, put her feet on my shoulders. Like, she was sitting behind me, and I felt like 2 shoes touch me on the shoulders. And her mom immediately went like, hey, cut that out. Have some respect. And I was like, yeah, cut that out. Have some respect. I feel like most of the people that would tell that story would be like, I was at a hockey game and some idiot kid put her feet on my shoulders and mom didn't do anything. Nah, mom was she sorted that out right away. And you know, it makes it a lot easier to not hold it against the kid because you're like, you know, they're just a kid. I remember stories from when I was a kid. You're not in control of your actions when you're a child, and to the same extent. My friend's mom drove us to a field trip once, and I was in the seat behind her seat, and she kept saying, "Stop kicking the back of my seat." And I wasn't, in my head, I wasn't kicking the back of her seat, but she's like, "I'm gonna be real mad if you keep kicking the back of my seat." And I was like, "I'm not kicking it." But then every once in a while, I would notice that I was actually kicking it. It was just unintentional. It's just your kid, you're like moving your legs around, you know? They're not as in control as an adult. If an adult kicks the back of your seat, they're just being a troll. So I'll tell you right off the bat. Oh, that's very nice. We have, I'm so sorry about all of the red hearts that we've lost over our existence so far. We have a very great chance to beat Satan. We have a very great chance to beat the Dark Room. And I think we have a pretty good chance to give Mega Satan the what for, but I'm not confident yet. Not 100% confident, at least. So, it's a good start, hopefully. Throw a bomb. Throw Bob's rotten head. Split him. Drop another bomb. And then smack him. Just genuinely. No, we lost Holy Mantle. But, you know, my heart was in the right place. So I was going to say it's just genuinely trying... Oh, I wonder if we can just do it like this. Nope. Never take that position against Satan, so... Oh, this is a little rough, admittedly. It's just a little tougher to dodge when you're also attached to that... your original body. So many needless, oh my god, losses of HP, but I do still want to point out, like, you can be negative about my performance. Good god. I would not dispute, like, I have not played a particularly strong game as the Forgotten. All I'm going to say in my own defense is look at our friggin' damage, dude. I know I say this like every run now. Believe you me, I would rather not. I would rather have, like, much more than default starting damage by the time we get to this point. But apparently, it's not that doable. You know, we had a lot of runs recently that just refused to take us there. Okay, I'm not getting too excited about Guppy yet, but... Oh, that's horrible. Because we have the world card. I still, you know, I think you go for everything on this run. It's the longest time for a bomb to explode in Little Horn history. With Holy Mantle, here's the thing. It shouldn't be very hard to get through the Dark Room. What might be difficult, wow, is, beating the lamb, admittedly. But just getting through the dark room should not be that tough. We do have the wafer, so it's almost like we have twice as much HP as we otherwise would. Love that move. We can hit you for double damage, essentially. We have 0 luck. If I have a complaint, and I got several, about our recent runs. Oh, we almost look like a god there. One would be damage, no question. I think we've been getting screwed on damage on a lot of these runs. The other one is our luck stat is oftentimes, like, so low by the time we come down to the, like, the late game. We don't get much of a chance to pick up cool items. And I don't know how much of our own control we exercise in those situations. Wow, what a whiff. Don't. Oh, he got me. We actually, though, I think we're better off. This shouldn't surprise too many people, but I think we're better off taking red heart damage than spirit heart damage at this point. Red hearts are more easily replenishable until we lose that bone heart, at least. Then we'll start to think twice. So we're trying the ranged melee. It's doing okay, but it's the 6.98 damage, man. Just gets you down. This is real bad. Good, good, good. Trapped, not good. So we're spreading damage, but we're doing it because we're attacking the safest unit to attack at all times. However briefly... Oh, I was going to say I'll accept that double damage. Please. Again, losing a half heart, not really relevant. So if we get hit once, no harm, no foul. Love this. It's like playing air hockey. Dude, imagine if air hockey was named the same way ice hockey was. Now that would be a sport. It'd be like Quidditch. It's about, by the way, it was just, the mere mention of Quidditch is the extent of my entire knowledge of the Harry Potter universe, so. If you're ever wondering, why doesn't NL reference Harry Potter more? I don't know anything about Harry Potter. I read the first book when I was in 5th grade, then decided I was way too cool to read more. That was very foolish, but hey. That's right, I hipstered Harry Potter. And you're maybe gonna say that sounds like you, NL. Yeah, sure. But I was also in, like, I was in 6th grade when I decided not to read the 2nd book, so. You know, I was just a little kid. Can't hold it against me too much. Then my mom told me to knock it off. Came to my senses. So I love our HP. No! I was just gonna say we got no risk to lose that bone heart on, but dang, man, that hurts. Okay, 2 dirt patches. So we still want to fight Mega Satan on this one? I don't know, like, the longer these sort of runs go on, the more annoyed I get. Because I'm like, wouldn't have killed you to give me damage. We had so many options on the angel rooms as well, but still, nothing came to pass. Let's not get too annoyed by it, but start just... Oh, I hit control. Just kill the lamb, right? Pop up. Pop up, please. We can still get hit. Again, the spirit hearts are perhaps a little more precious right now. Like, it's been a while since I've had to solicit Isaac feedback, but I'm genuinely looking at these recent runs and I'm like, am I doing something that's compromising my damage? Admittedly, not getting deals with the devil and instead going for deals for the angel, or deals with the angel. That counts. Like, that's something that... Oh, let's go. That's something that could manifest itself as such. No question about it. But... still seems a little bit like overkill. It's a world card, that's right. Just trying to get rid of amnesia, at least. I do want HP. Or a better card would also... Okay. I'm begging you, sir. I am B-E-G-G-I-N-G for anything. Okay, fine. You know what? If I blow you up, you are going to give me an item, so... Sounds good to me. I really, after all this, I do not feel like we have a good beat on Mega Satan. Is it worth trying? I guess. It depends on our HP. Like, I mean, as it stands right now, there might be a chance. But I'm a little miffed about the low DPS. I guess we should be happy that we're the Forgotten, where, you know, even if we have low DPS, still better than being any other character in the game right now. Perhaps including Azazel. And again, we'll tough it out and keep doing red heart damage for... Oh my god. We'll keep risking red heart damage for now. Now we'll probably try to trade out for some spirit heart action. We gotta move. That's dangerous. Yep. Okay. Pretty much 100% on me. Oh, switch, switch! Oh, no! We had it. We had it, and I ruined it just basically through absent-mindedness. Like 10 HP away from the finish there. I'll level with you. Now, I do not feel like Mega Satan is appropriate at all. Yep. So I'm going to try to fight you melee focused. I don't want to say melee only necessarily. It's really like, if we can make it to this part, melee only, I think we start to feel okay. Especially with the wafer, like, there's a real chance. Okay. Still got a chance. Still got a chance. Run. So we just want to put that barrier up. No, you rotated in that direction. Okay, if we're one hit away from death, do we want to use melee? I'm going to suggest the answer to that question is no, because the unit is right on top of me. Oh, I love it. Please, please, please. The hitbox. Sir, sir. We've done it. No Mega Satan, no victory lap, no delirium. Okay, so I threw a little bit on this run, but we made it happen. Got a lot of items unlocked, and maybe we'll give the Forgotten a temporary rest. We did really well on his post-it note. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal, and of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.